Hi and welcome in Angular series. In this tutorial, we will see how to create a layout using Angular router. And to do this, we will create three main pages: homepage, posts, and login. Homepage will use the sidebar, posts also will use it, and the login will use the full width layout. In this tutorial, I assume you have already Node.js and Angular installed. If not, please install Node.js. And in Angular, please go to angular.io, hit get started, go to setup, and see how to install Angular. It's really quite easy. It will take a few minutes. The very first step is to create a fresh project using Angular CLI and then install Flex Layout. If you don't know yet about Flex Layout, please go to Github. It's simply an intelligent layout that will help us applying some Flexbox CSS. There is plenty of examples. I suggest you to take a look on them before we start the tutorial. All right. So let's create our project first. To do so, please go to the terminal, go to your desired directory, and type ng new to create a new project. The project name will be tutorial. You can name it whatever you like. It will ask you about the routing. Yes, I do need routing. And for CSS, I will use SCSS. You can use less or simply CSS. Now the project is created. Let's install Flex Layout package. To do this, go to GitHub and copy paste this one. Great. Now it's all installed. So our layout will be defined as a component. In Angular, there is no concept of layouts. There is only components. So our layout will be defined as a component in a separate module. And we will create two main pages: homepage and posts. And once that is created, we will use the full width layout as a parent component in our routing module. Let's go ahead and do this. So to create a layout or a component as a layout, type ng generate component, and the layout will be under a directory called layouts, and I will call it simply default. So it's the default layout. Good, that was created. I will create its module. Simply type ng-gm for module, and I will put it in the same folder. Great. Now I will create the two other pages. To create them, create g for generate component, but now I will put them in modules, and I'll create home. Here is my home, and here is my posts. Great. And now I will run the project. Simply run ng-serve and open it in the browser. Good. I will open a new terminal and open my project. Great. I will update my HTML file. I will remove it, all of it, and keep only the router outlet. I will go now to app.module, and I will remove all these declarations, including the imports, and I will go to import section and import the default module just like this. Save it. I will go now to the layout, And now I will add some declarations. The first and foremost, the default component, also the home page, and posts. For the imports, I need the router module and the flex layout module. Here, I will import it manually. So flex layouts from Angular / flex layouts. Great. In my HTML, I will remove this HTML and replace it by router outlet, right? Just like this. And I will go to the app routing, and then I'll go here and use the default layout as the parent component. Yes, that's it. So I need a path. I will leave it empty. For the component, it will be the default component. Default component. The children, I need two childrens. The first is the homepage, the same, but I'll leave it empty just for the homepage, and the component will be the home component. Yes, and the other one is path. This time is posts, and the component will be the posts component. Oops. All right, that's good. Great. Now the home page is working. I will go to posts page. Simply run posts. Yes, there we go. And now the routing is working. I will go to the default HTML and add our header right here. Close the header, and inside the header I need a logo. Yes, sorry, my bad. And in here I need several links. I need a homepage, posts, and login. And for Angular it's a bit different. We don't use href like that. We use router link, just like that. For the home, it's / router link to the posts / posts, and here also router link to the login. All right, I do need also a footer. Yes, footer works. Simple. Great. In the content, I need to split it into two. One for the sidebar. Simply sidebar works just like that, and use the router outlet inside another div. So this is gonna be my layout. Let's check it out in Firefox. Yes, this is great. If I go to the home page, voila. So we have the logo, the links, sidebar, the content, which is here, and the footer. If I click on posts, okay, so the page changes, and they will still keep, and they will still have the header, sidebar, and the footer. Okay, so it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad to use it in here, because if we want to create another layout, so we need to copy paste the header and the footer. A logical idea is to try to extract the header, sidebar, and the footer and reuse it as common parts. So to do this, we need to create what we call it shared modules. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that. Open a terminal. So in g generate components, the components, I will add them inside the shared folder components, because like in the shared folder we may have we may have components, we may have pipes, directives, and so on. Yeah, so this header, sidebar, and footer are parts of components, so it's going to be a good idea to keep them inside components folder. Yeah, so first thing is the header. Boom, it's now created. Yes, that's what we want. Second one is sidebar. Third one is the footer. Perfect. So now I will create a shared module for all of them. Module inside shared, just like that. Boom. I will go ahead and update the shared module. I will add all of them to the declaration. We have the header components. We have sidebar components, also footer components. For the imports, we need the router module. We need Flexbox module, flex layout module. And for the exports, I need to export all the header, sidebar, and footer. And this should work. So now I will, to be able to reuse it, I will move the HTML that we have in here, and to move it to its component. For example, the header should go to the header. Close that. Header HTML. Yes, right there, buddy. And I will replace it with app footer. I will replace it with app header. If you are wondering how did I came with app header, please go to your components. You will find it in the selector in here. Yeah, right there. So you can reuse it whatever you like in your app. The same for the footer. I will call it by its name, footer, and then go to the footer HTML and footer. We'll close this ones. Okay, I will go now to the default module and import our header and footer and all of this. So it's called shared module. And I will go to the app.module and remove all of this from the declaration. It's added automatically by the CLI, so I remove it manually. So I don't need it here. It's part of other modules. Good. Let's go to the browser and see what is happening. Good. So nothing changed. That means it is working. Boom, pasts, boom. Login now it's not working. We don't have a page dedicated for it. So all we have is this one. And now we'll use some CSS to make it a bit beautiful. Good. Let's go now to the default component, HTML. In here, this should be a column. So it's flex layout column. Okay, the same for the footer. Right there. And this should be a row. Perfect. And this for the this should be changed. This should be changed. Boom. This should have only 20% of the document width, and in here I will add sidebar, sidebar, just like that. Okay, and this one should take 80% of the documents. Okay, perfect. I will simply give it a class name, just like content, yeah, whatever. Good. One thing left is in the styles in here for the body and HTML. I will remove the padding and the margin, right? Just like this. And for the height, I will give it 100%. Perfect. And for the hosts, or the component itself, I will change the display to flex. Yes, and all of it should be a column. So it's a flex direction column, and the height should be at 100%. There we go. For the content, the class that we have, I will give it a padding of 20 pixels. That's it. Let's see how that is performing. There we go. We have the footer right in the bottom, the login in here, sidebar, the content on our right. We'll change the color. We'll go to the home page in here. So it's the header. I will give it a padding of 20 pixels. I will change also the color to background color, sky blue maybe. Okay, I will go to the footer. Yes. Also a padding of 20 pixels, and the background color should be green. Yeah, green. It's the sidebar. The sidebar in here, I will give it a different color, padding 20 pixels, and I will use the maybe orange. Yeah, what about the orange? Yeah, seems good. Let's see. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, the sidebar here is a bit, I will fix that. Let's go to the default, right? I will give that, oops, right here, fx flex. Yep. Ta-da! This is working. I will fix now the header to be to adjust alignment in the header. Right, go to the header. I will change the alignment. It's fx layout align. I will use spacing in between, and should be in the center. This should be a row. Yes, and I need a gap between the links. I guess 20 is okay, so I will use a gap of 20 pixels. Yeah, that's okay. Let's save it and see how that look like. Very good. So the homepage, posts, all works fine. Okay, so now the login should have a different layout. Okay, so here's an exercise for you. Take 20 minutes from your time and try to redo what I've done to create my first layout and see if you can make it. If you're not, please continue to see how that will be created. Okay, I will go to the terminal to create another layout. Simply I will use Angular CLI, generate component inside layouts, and I will call it full width. Sorry, it's not full width. Full width. Yes. Good. Here it is created. I will create a module for us. Good. This is created. Okay, I will go to the module, add the declaration for my for my full width component. It's hard to say. So it's full width components. In here also I will need the router module, router module. Also I need the flex layouts, just like that. Also I will need the header and the footer. I will grab them from the shared module, so I need the shared module also. Good. So one step ahead to be fully set, I will press the HTML and use the router applet, this one. Oops. Good. I will go to the app.module module and remove this one from the declaration, the same from the imports. I will rather add it here. It's the full width module. Good. So now I've created my second layout. It's called full width. What is left now is to create my other page, which is the login. To do this, simply login, go to modules and call it login. The same as always, I will go to the app.module and remove it from the declaration. Boom. I will go to my full width module and add the declaration of the login in here. Good. What is left now is the routing. I will go in here and create another route. Okay. The path, I'll leave it empty. Component parent should be the full width components, and for the children I have only one, which is the login. So path, login, and the component is the login components. Only this. Let's go ahead and see what is happening. Okay, home, posts, login. Okay, good. The reason why it's empty, it's simply we don't have any HTML in our full module components. That's it. Should be the same except for the left panel. I will copy paste it. I will reuse it. I will go to the full width, just like that, and I will remove all of this one. Okay, 100%, and we are all set. Let's go to our browser. Yes, home, posts, login. I will fix the CSS by adding a host in here. So we should fix the display to flex direction. It's a column, right? And the height is 100%. Good. All good. Homepage with the sidebar, posts with the sidebar, and the login with the full width. Only this. Perfect. Let's do a recap. Okay, so to create a layout, simply create a component. Okay, the component should have this router outlet for the routing and a couple of HTML stuff, depends on your templates. This layout should be imported in app.module, and you should create a route for it. So all components should be parent components. That's it. If you like it, please thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.